First, let's start with just a simple course, what the course outline is all about, okay? What we should expect at the end of our learning. Okay, so we will need to understand first, for you, as I said, or for any journalist who's going to be covering economics news, that means you have to have an understanding of the concepts in economics, both at microeconomics, like what you mentioned, demand and the supply, okay, issues at that level, the market equilibrium, and the those graphs like the consumer graphs and all that. Okay, but then at macro level again, issues of inflation. Okay, issues of fiscal spending in government. That's a discipline. Issues of yeah, the Reserve Bank policies. Okay, so macro and micro. Macro those which affect an individual, while macro those at bigger level. Okay, so meaning of economic or business journalists, your journalism. So some people refer to this as business journalism, or economics report, right? Business report, economics report. Okay, so you understand what are the qualities of an economic reporter. So the qualities: writing an effective business news article, types of economic business. Okay, so the first one, the qualities are that you have to have a good grasp of economics, the basic things, and uh, to write an effective business news article, it means you also have to have contacts, contact people. Don't think you know a lot, or don't be ashamed to ask or to learn more. Keep learning. Okay. Uh, so you also types of economic or business reports. These can be categorized in several. You can be reporting about the bourse that's the stock exchange market. Stock market is called like in blunt. Some would specialize themselves in the field of trade. Yeah. Others can be specialized in perhaps in the financial markets. You see that, So establishing good journalistic practices, what the same philosophy, the same methods that we follow as a journalist. You have to be ethical. Don't tweak figures. Yeah. Always maintain sources. Yeah. Always write what you understand, not what you imagine. Right? Okay. Uh, it's a very short topic, rather a very short course outline. So we will be talking about evolution of business journalism in the national economy, like the primary market, the secondary market, the money market, and the institutions. The primary market is those women we see selling about, calling along the streets, calling out what they have, isn't it? Shouting, or selling unprocessed products. Yes. Um, then the secondary market is at least artisanal level, where you can see value addition to the goods and services. Yes. When you sell cotton, that's primary market. But when you change cotton to cloth, maybe secondary market. Then we have money market. We also have the problem facing the capital market in Malawi. Okay. Okay. Briefly, eh, these are some of the things. Okay. Um, We also need to know brief. There's this book by what do you call, Nicola Walton. I don't know if we can how we can get a hold of this book. Nicola, let me check again. Let me check again. Just a moment. Yeah, Nicola Walton. Nicola Walton. It's about the how to report economic news. Just let me save this one so I can share. You can check with the library. It's not there. You can request the school to share some. It's the first edition, eh? It's very important, which you can read. So it's so if you look at the history of economics, the recent history, we're talking about since the global financial crisis in 2008. That's in the US. Eh? Most of the things that we refer to are in our journalism. Most of the books are from the US. Eh? That's where journalism advanced in democracy. Eh? Okay, and most of the books we refer to are authored from there. So there was economic crisis in 2008 in the US. So economics has dominated the news agenda. In the US, they are also concerned with issues of immigration, migration, people who go in the US. Eh? So that's a big issue there. Trade, growth, and unemployment, which are high, debated in that country. Uh, so Nicola Walton is an experienced financial journalist. So he presents a very comprehensive guide or to important economic indicators and how to report on them. Okay, we'll check in the library how we can get this one. So the issue, some of the issues that you get there, monetary policy. Okay, you look at monetary policy, it's at macro level. Okay, inflation is macro level. Economic growth is macro level. Labor markets, fiscal policy. Yeah? Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is discipline, how you spend, how government spends. Eh? That's where most journalists we have the focus. Monetary policy is how much money should go into the system or should be mopped out. Eh? Is there too much money circulating? Okay. Trade, then emerging markets, International Monetary Fund and World Bank, a key source of news, mostly in democracies like ours. Okay. Um, Once you get hold of this book, there are also surveys in there. It will be important to appreciate what the person writes. Okay. Um, we're switching to something else. Um, okay. When you are reporting, for example, issue of finance uh, and industry, uh, you are also delving into what we call investigative journalism. We discussed that yesterday, isn't it? But we also touch a bit here because um, sometimes you come across issues like balance sheet. Okay, you need to investigate and understand the balance sheet. Otherwise, you just be looking, you just be blank. If you didn't understand, you don't understand how it operates. Okay. So they like there is so like any other specialist area, there is a basic core of knowledge uh, which you must understand before you can write competently on this one. So you do not need to know every aspect of economic theory, or possess a degree in business studies. No, no, but it's not possible to be a competent journalist without the ability to understand. Okay. A simple balance sheet or explain profit and loss. So once you understand the basics, um, you can ask other people to fill the details. But from the point of, at least you have some understanding. So then you can explain what happens in the financial world in a way your readers or listeners can understand. So at first, when you're studying, it would be not be easy to be a complicated. Uh, the theories, rules, numbers, you can report it well as long as you remember some simple principles. Okay. So first, understand the basics. So now we are going into the basic principles. You have to understand the basics. So like in a specialist area, there is a basic core of knowledge which you must understand before you delve into uh, writing completely. So you don't need to know every aspect of economic theory, as I said, or possess a degree. No, you have to read and understand the basics. Okay. Another basic principle is report the human face. You're writing for people, You're not writing for machines or technocrats. So write the people who don't understand economics, but it affects them, So look at areas that you think the economy affects these people, and report on the using the language for that. So because economics is about human actions, it should be possible to tell all economic news stories in human terms. Otherwise, if you become too technical, then you miss your audience. They will not follow you. Okay. So it is not possible. If it is not possible, you must question whether you should really use the store at all. Yes. Does it affect the people? Yes. But am I communicating to them that it's affecting them? For example, a story about an increase in the import duty should not be written in terms of financial policy. So that means you have to understand this financial policy. What are the financial policies around? Okay? But in terms of what it will mean to your readers or listeners who buy imported goods, isn't it? Okay, there's an example here on the price issue. On the issue of import duty, for example, has been imposed. Let's say on the flour for making bread, bread flour, import duty it's gone up. And reporting that the government has raised import duty on bread is a policy issue. Eh? But the reason you should say how that price or that duty on flour will affect the consumer. Yes, the price will certainly go up, isn't it? So to affect the consumer, the consumer will have to dig deeper into their pockets. Yeah, let's see that. Okay.
But we don't have merely just to report that the price is up, but
No, no, that the duty. Okay, duty is the tax that government will levy on the import, isn't it? Will take from the import. So they say any flour that's coming from Tanzania or from Pakistan, when you bring it in Malawi, MRA will charge you 10%. And instead of 5%. So the duty has gone up. Means you're paying more on the flour when it comes in, isn't it? So when you're going to be selling to the bakery people, you'll be selling it to also a higher price. That means the baker will also increase the price of bread. Yeah. So you have to think about along those lines and report about how the bread will affect the people, the price of bread, the people. Tell them that the price is likely to go up because input duties. But the issue here is that input duty has gone up, isn't it? So you don't report it directly. You just report it as a cause of the price increase, right? But start with the price increase. Mhm. So of course, simplification should not be taken too far. Don't oversimplify. There are some economic issues which affect society as a whole and need serious treatment. It would be an oversimplification to view a plunge index, for example, when the exchange rate of your currency only as if it will make travelers check more expensive. Okay. Uh, there would be much greater consequences, both good and bad, such as rising the cost of imports and the boost export industries. Okay, when the kwacha has been devalued, isn't it? It's a serious thing, right? There are several consequences to that. So you should expect your exports to be cheaper, export cheaper. But then those who are coming in to be more expensive, isn't it? Okay. Um, so the cost of imports will be higher, while the exports will be lower. So look at both sides, or all the sides. Okay. So even these more serious effects should be put in human terms. The traveler's check aspect is a very minor side effect. Okay, talking about this one. Okay, then give the local angle. Yes, give the local angle means